was 3 gas utilities. And in all of those utilities, with the exception of Atlantic City Electric, we have an automated metering infrastructure in place. I was at Pico when they did their first AMR, which was not as two-way capable back in the early 2000s, and they're now through their second generation and have gone to an AMI. We have them in ComEd, we have a Baltimore Gas and Electric, and then within the PHI family, we have them at Pepco, Delmarva, and Delmarva Gas already in place, and they've been working successfully for all of those utilities for a number of years.
Well, Dan, I've got a couple more questions, but we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion. Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Dan Loveland. He is the Director of Project Management for PHI, which includes Atlantic City Electric. Dan, we were talking about the deployment. So it seems to be pretty much seamless. There might be a little bit of an interruption when you swap over the meters. You have to reset your clock, but it doesn't sound like there's a lot that you have to do as a customer once the meter is exchanged. We mentioned the fact that there may be some future capabilities. So hopefully you could track some of your usage on your computer, perhaps your smartphone, which is great for planning your usage. Ultimately, that could save you money, right? In terms of planning how much you're using, and particularly if you're conscious of that and really could control your usage. Let's talk a little bit about a couple more issues or concerns that people may have. One of them is safety. Are the smart meters safe?
Yeah, Bert. So as we were talking about with the technology being around for a while and all of the other Exelon utilities already having smart meters installed, in fact, about 75% of the United States has converted over to smart meter technology at this point. So I think we can say that they're safe technology that's been pretty well adopted throughout the country. There are some folks who may challenge that, but we've had good success throughout Exelon utilities and throughout the country with these meters.
And then the other question, there might be some folks that have some conspiracy theories there about using data, right? Their usage data, which we do have usage data now, right? Because we do the meter readings. We know how much customers are using. But are there any privacy concerns that customers need to worry about?
Yeah, Bert, I think it's a fair question, right? For a customer to ask about their privacy and ask about whether or not their information could be shared with somebody else. And the way we have a very tight security system on our IT networks. We do a lot to maintain the security of our information across the company. From an operational standpoint and from a customer information standpoint, we have active campaigns to assure that our employee base is vigilant with maintaining the security of our networks and our IT information. From a sharing of data information, the customer's information is the customer's information, and that's the way it works. If the customer wants us to share their information with somebody else, the customer has to sign an agency agreement and send it to us in order for us to allow anybody to have the customer's information. So other than the customer themselves, no one will have access to the customer's information.
And then I know that there might be some folks who want to opt out. They don't want the smart meters. What options do they have? And is there a cost associated with either converting to a smart meter or opting out from getting a smart meter?
Sure, Bert. So yeah, there is the ability to opt out, and there's really so when you think about the reasons to go to smart meters, as we talked about, we're going away from manual meter reading. We're going to be reducing truck rolls. So a lot of the operational benefits that will help us manage our costs moving forward as a company, which translates to more stable rates for our customers, get lost with customers who decide to opt out. But we do respect that customers may want to opt out. For a customer who calls us in advance and says that they don't want the meter or refuses it when the technician gets to the door, there is a $15 a month fee for us to maintain a meter reading capability to go out and manually read those meters. And then for customers who don't tell us in advance, but tell us after we've changed the meter, there is a $45 fee for us to change the meter back. And then that $15 a month fee applies.
So Dan, you mentioned not having as many meter readers, right? So would this translate in loss of jobs for individuals?
Yeah, so that's a great question. As I mentioned earlier, we're proud of the workforce development effort that we've had go on here. We at Atlantic City Electric have had a workforce development training program in place for a while. We were able to have 14 of the folks that were involved in our workforce development training program gain employment with the folks at CCI. Two of them have already found a future career path in the short time that they've been involved. We also have had some folks from the meter reading company move over and take jobs with the installing vendors, and we are providing opportunities for them to leverage our workforce development training programs and look for a different career in the future. So there is a reality that there will not be the same number of meters to be read. But those jobs, we're working very hard with our business partners and with the community and with community colleges to provide training programs to redeploy those folks to other jobs in the future.
And I want to talk a little bit about that, particularly the focus on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I know that we've been very deliberate about opening up opportunities for underserved communities. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Bert, we have been very deliberate about that. If you think about this is a significant opportunity. We had a project up in Brigantine, the Harbor Beach project, where we had 18 folks from Atlantic City take an opportunity to further themselves and get a different career, and that worked out very well for us with one of our business partners, the Jingoli folks in the Competitive Edge program. In fact, we just hired one of those 18 to work for us here in my office as a project management analyst. He started with us today. The workforce development part of the Smart Energy Network. So we're going to have between 30 and 50 folks working for about a year and a half. They go through an initial training and are taught some basics about electric theory. We do have our workforce development programs through the community colleges that we're helping to guide them to so that they get training. And part of what we've done is make sure that the workforce development training program and the recruiting has been throughout the territory. And we have focused on areas like the Millville, Bridgeton area, Atlantic City, trying to get folks that may not have an opportunity to move into a better career, an opportunity, right? Everybody at some point in their life was given an opportunity. Everybody who has a good career was given an opportunity to further that career, and we're looking to make sure that we do that as much as we can across our community. And then you look at the work that we do otherwise outside of the automated metering, our normal substation upgrade and transmission work that folks have been seeing go on that has brought us to the great reliability numbers that we've had over the past few years. That work, oftentimes, we don't have enough skilled labor here in the territory, and so people travel in from out of the area. So what we're hoping to do is to kind of springboard what's going on here and look for folks to move into careers within the electric utilities or other construction trades, where we see in the South Jersey area people traveling in to take jobs that we have local folks that could do.
And that's very important. Appreciate that, Dan. I think it's very critical. Certainly, you're on the show Latino Motion, and we advocate certainly to get more of our community employed, and certainly opening up more opportunities overall for disadvantaged communities. So appreciate that. And Dan, it's been great talking about smart meters. Thank you for joining us here on Latino Motion.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for the time.
And thank you at home for once again joining us here on Latino Motion. Take care.
Choose to get your feet wet, to learn more about protecting our environment.
Choose to read minds, to understand the human brain.
Choose to get your hands dirty, to create a masterpiece.
Stockton University offers 50 high-quality academic programs, small class sizes, and affordable tuition. Choose to match your interests and talents at one of New Jersey's nationally ranked universities.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare, offering primary, specialty, and urgent care, plus surgery and more. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.
The bathroom of your dreams is only a phone call away with BCI Bath and Shower. We can make your ordinary bath and shower extraordinary. This is not a cookie-cutter design. This is a complete custom build that will fit your every need. It's never been easier or more affordable than right now to get the bathroom of your dreams. We have the best monthly programs in the industry with payments as low as $99 per month or no payments, no interest for 18 months with approved credit. The hardest part of your new bathroom is gutting and building the tub and shower. If your bathing area is old, there could be damage behind the walls and possible mold and mildew, which can be a serious safety issue. At BCI, we don't cover a problem, we fix it. Call now to get a never clean glass treated door with the no-track system at half off for the first 50 callers. Factory trained, certified installers made in the USA and discounts for seniors and military. Call 800-998-7338. That's 800-998-7338.
Attention people with Medicare and anyone turning 65. If you have original Medicare, you may be able to get a plan with additional benefits. Medicare Advantage plans may include eyeglasses, wellness visits, gym memberships, meal delivery, and hearing aids. To see if you qualify for a plan with additional benefits, call Best Medcare. Our licensed insurance agents can review your current benefits and tell you what additional benefits may be available to you. Just one call and you may be eligible for a plan with a $0 monthly premium. Tell us the deductibles you prefer, the doctors you want to see, and if you want prescription drug coverage. The service is free. You may even find a plan with a $0 monthly premium, $0 copays, and $0 deductibles. Speak to a licensed agent to find out if a Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 800-953-1769. That's 800-953-1769. And let Best Medcare do the work for you.
What if you could make a free phone call and reduce your car payment by as much as $83 a month? Right now, you could be paying as high as 20% interest. Your new interest rate could be reduced to as low as 2.48%. You can refinance any existing car loan or leased car and save money every month. Take 5 minutes of your time right now. Make this free phone call and learn how to save hundreds of dollars a year by refinancing your existing car loan.
Some men are born not merely to lead, but to do so with foresight, dignity, and compassion. Such a man is James R. Hurley, who can look back on a lifetime of service to New Jersey as a county freeholder, a member of the state legislature, and as chairman of the Casino Control Commission. Meanwhile, he raised a family, worked diligently in support of his church, initiated projects in the public interest, yet managed to run his advertising and public relations firm. And there is more to the James Hurley story, a chronicle of tireless dedication to New Jersey and its citizens.
I think he's so well liked here because he likes people. He likes to talk to them. And when he was in the legislature, everywhere he went, he always carried a little pad of paper and a pen because people would ask him, I need help here. Could you do this? So he said, I forget when I come home. So if I take this, I can remember. Because he always told his staff, it doesn't matter who calls. Everyone is important. And everyone that asks for something, we try to help.
He wanted to be good to everybody and make sure that everybody was taken care of. And that's just who he kind of was. So people would come up to him and introduce themselves, and he already knew who they were. He knew everybody's name.
My father is honest, full of integrity. As a politician, he listened to his constituents always and acted on their behalf.
I was the executive director of the Millville YMCA. And to say that money was scarce, it would be putting it mildly. And we had old boilers in the basement. And I mentioned to Jim, we really got to remove the asbestos. We've been told we got to get rid of it. And we didn't have any money. And somehow, he found money in Trenton, and we were able to remove that asbestos. That's just my example of his constituent attention.
I was benefited greatly by the fact that I became a leader in the Assembly, and I moved up through the ranks to become the Republican leader in the Assembly. And so then when I was elected to the Senate, I immediately went into leadership position in the Senate and eventually became the Republican leader of the Senate.
Well, my first contact in meeting Jim Hurley was back in 1974, so it's nearly 50 years ago. I was in my law office one afternoon, and the receptionist said, Assemblyman Hurley's here to see you. Will you see him? And I said, sure, send him back. And he came to my office, and he sat down, and he said that he and some of the other leaders of the Republican Party had some high regard for me, and they wondered whether I would be willing to become the Republican county chairman. After that, I did decide to take the position, and became the Republican county chairman, and became in a relationship with Jim over the years, both politically and then ultimately personally. We became good friends as well. And you can't not become a good friend of Jim Hurley's if you know Jim Hurley.
In 1974, Jim Hurley started James R. Hurley Associates, an advertising and public relations firm in Millville. After Jim's 1990 appointment to the Casino Control Commission, wife Wally ran the business until 2004.
I worked for Jim Hurley in his business starting in 1978. His business was James R. Hurley Associates, Advertising and Public Relations. When I left there, I formed my own agency, which is called Design Advertising, with the tools that I learned from working at Hurley Associates.
Well, Hurley Associates, after I had become involved with the bank merged. It up and merged with the First Camden National, so it was no longer just a local bank. And I didn't know if I wanted to be involved in banking. Mr. Parr, who was the president, wanted me to be a banker. I developed an interest in writing and public relations and advertising, so I gravitated toward that.
He went in to be a public relations person for Millville National Bank, and then he started Jim Hurley Associates. So I sort of idolized Jim, to be honest with you. I ended up going to college. I went back and I actually taught at the same high school he taught at that time. It was a junior high. And then I started my own business. It's Jim Quinn Associates. Shortly after, I was in teaching for about 5 years, I guess. So that's when I was able to emulate Jim and sort of want to follow in his footsteps.
One of Jim Hurley's most personally rewarding accomplishments for his constituents was convincing the state legislature to create New Jersey's first joint urban enterprise zone, combining Vineland and Millville in 1983. Because of Jim's efforts, Bridgeton was also named an urban enterprise zone.
Jim, as a leader, would come in to the city, and I always found him to be the type of person that wanted to figure out how to do something, how to get it done. It didn't matter if there were obstacles or it didn't seem possible. He wanted to think about, how can we do that? And a good example of that is the urban enterprise zone. At the time when they were first coming out in the legislature, there were 10 slots. 9 slots had been taken. There was 1 slot left, and Vineland and Millville were competing for that slot. Jim, representing both areas, sponsored amendments to the legislation that enabled the first joint zone to be created. So we still have today the Vineland Millville Urban Enterprise Zone, probably the single greatest economic development tool that the cities have been able to use, really changing the cities to a great degree.
Well, the urban enterprise zone was under the jurisdiction of the state. It became a designated zone by the state legislature, so it became an entity unto itself. And because of that, the cities involved in that district would get attention and would get funds and would get marketing efforts by the departments of the state government. I want to make it very clear how influential Tom King was in my career and how influential he was in what we were able to accomplish. You don't accomplish those things in government without the influence of the top person, and that's the governor.
Thanks to the close association Jim Hurley developed with Governor Thomas Kean, Route 55 was completed in Cumberland County. This improvement in transportation led to much-needed local economic growth. Jim's office also developed strong contacts with President Ronald Reagan's administration, resulting in the medium-security Federal Correctional Institution near Fairton, which opened in 1990. Federal grants were awarded to train personnel for the new jobs.
Well, I think the biggest accomplishment, because it's one that I think we worked the hardest on, was Route 55. For years and years, Route 55 only went a short distance out of the Philadelphia area down towards Cumberland County, but it never got to Cumberland County. And it was only really because of Jim Hurley's relationship with Governor Tom Kean that Route 55 ever got completed. Until Tom Kean became the governor and Jim Hurley had a very close relationship with the governor, it stalled dead. But every time Governor Kean would come to our area, and he came to visit Cumberland County quite frequently, and every time he came to Cumberland County, Jim Hurley and I would beat him up about getting Route 55 completed because we thought that it would connect us to the outside world and be an improvement to the area. And finally, it got accomplished, of course, while Governor Kean was the governor.
So transportation was key, but that plays into the other area very solidly, and that's economic growth, creation of jobs. Jim had a wonderful relationship not only with elected officials and appointed officials on the state level, but also on the federal level. Outstanding rapport with the Reagan administration, and it brought a slew of federal dollars to his district, where unemployment historically has run high. I can remember Jim meeting with the United States Secretary of Labor and securing a multi-million-dollar grant to train and retrain in the area of employment. So getting these jobs into the county and replacing the jobs that were being lost, getting people retrained, was of the utmost importance. And Jim really delivered, not only with state funds, millions of dollars for human services and for employment, but also federal dollars, which I want to add is unusual for a state legislator to be able to access the different levels and pull all the levers on the federal level.
That was a fascinating thing, because actually my legislative assistant at the time was Bob Fryant, and he took it upon himself to develop a relationship with Edmund Meade's Department of the Government. So by his communicating with them, we were able to arrange a meeting with Mies in Washington. And the purpose of it, because the prison system came under Mies's jurisdiction, the purpose of it was to interest him in putting a federal prison here in Cumberland County. Our interest in the prisons was strictly job generator, because at the time the glass factories were cutting back, some of them were closing, and we needed to find jobs for people. And one of the suggestions made was to try to interest the Attorney General in locating a federal prison here in Cumberland County. So that's what we did.
Jim Hurley is proud of having assisted Japanese Americans throughout the nation receive federal reparations and an apology for their years of forced internment, plus the confiscation of their property and finances during World War II.
There are several things that I am most proud about. And one, he spoke about the reparation of the Japanese community, because they were American citizens who were ill-treated. And the Japanese community has always supported Jim, and you never, ever forget. And Charlie Nagel came to Jim and said, we need help, because we think we should be honored. We think that we should have this money that is due us. And he was helpful in doing that.
And the federal government, in fact, the President of the United States, at the time decided that they would live in encampments. They were supervised by the agencies of the federal government. And then after that period of time, they developed some independence, and they were so responsible for their own activities, and they were so responsible for the economic progress of the area that the federal government recognized that, and they determined that they would live here. After the war, they would be citizens of this area, and they formed a very, very strong community in Seabrook. We became very friendly with and very close to the Japanese American community. Mr. Seabrook was so influential in Washington that he was able to interest the federal government in supporting the Japanese American community in Seabrook, Cumberland County. And they did so economically, and they did so because of hiring these were farm workers. They came here and developed huge farm operations which turned into frozen food, which turned into feeding our troops.
In 1990, Governor Kane appointed Jim Hurley to New Jersey's Casino Control Commission. That appointment was extended twice, and in 1998, Jim was named as chairman, a post he held for 4 years.
His involvement with the Casino Control Commission has raised many questions from people, because he is a man of faith, and they said, if you are a man of faith, why do you want to be involved with the casinos? And his response was, he felt responsible that they did what they were supposed to do, that there were no ill influences, that people were legally licensed, that the jobs were properly done, everything was overseen. So he had the responsibility of making sure that it ran the way it should, in an honorable way.
You were in the vortex of everything that was happening in what was then a very powerful, dynamic part of state government. It was generating $5 billion in money bet in New Jersey, a portion of which went to social programs all over the state, and to a lot of other programs through the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority. My role as CRDA and on the commission was constantly one of diplomacy. how we could best use the funds that were mandated by legislation for the benefit of all the people. I took that responsibility very seriously.
Jim's wife and daughters have supported him in all his many endeavors, including his political campaigns, help for the homeless, affordable housing, and volunteer work for the Presbyterian Church. Daughter Leslie was a kindergarten teacher in Millville for 35 years. Jamie worked in human resources at Duran Glass in Millville, and Carrie Anna is a social worker.
When you talk about Jim Hurley, you also got to talk about Wally Hurley. They are joined at the hip. They're a wonderful couple. They're a loving couple, and they extend their love beyond their circle to you. And you really feel embraced by their friendship. I cannot find anything ever that I could ever say that was be on the negative side of the Hurleys. They're just very special people.
We have 3 daughters, Leslie, Jamie, and Carrie Anna. And Leslie and Jamie are 2 years apart, and then there's a span. And Leslie and Jamie were so involved, so enthusiastic.
Jamie and Leslie, well, Leslie's still supporting me today, but they were grassroots people. They knew the people at the grassroots, and so they could advise me. They could tell me individuals and individual names and individual people who would be helpful to me. And so Jamie and Leslie, well, to a large extent, was influential. She was a part of a large cadre of teachers. Teachers were very influential in Millville and very influential to me in my career.
My father in politics we were very involved. My older sister and I especially. We did a lot of the campaigning, a lot of stuffed envelopes, a lot of phone calls, a lot of handing out pencils and buttons and bumper stickers.
I don't remember exactly when my father got into politics, but as soon as he did, I loved every minute of it. I loved stuffing the envelopes. I loved going with him to meet the people, especially like in Cape May County, because everybody really loved him there. We blew up balloons. He had a great team around him all the time. Wonderful people, full of energy, full of creativity. So it was fun, very fun.
Well, I think when you talk about Jim, it's almost impossible not to talk about Walda and his family. They really are a package deal, and they certainly were in our church. Of course, Jim had a leadership role there as well, but he was also, the guy that wanted to go out into the neighborhood and visit with the neighbors. He wanted to do, help with the homeless. And probably a great story about Jim is he founded the nonprofit A-Home. He got all the ministers together in town. He realized if I fed them breakfast, I could get their attention. And so he had them for breakfast over several months. And the result of those meetings was the creation of a nonprofit that really addressed affordable housing in Millville. So walking his faith is a big part of who he is.
I went off to college, and many years later I had returned home and was working in Atlantic City at the time at the Casino Control Commission. And lo and behold, Jim Hurley came on board as one of our 5 commissioners. I worked for the Division of EEO-AA and planning, and so we had lots of opportunities to interact on ensuring that the casino industry was doing its part to ensure that women and minority businesses were getting their fair share and that there were good employment numbers for women and minorities in the workforces. I eventually retired and came on home to do community work, volunteer work in my area. And that's how I kind of started getting more involved with the church and became a clerk of session. And some years into it, we got a request from Jim and Walda Hurley to join our church. Jim and Wally came to us from the Millville Presbyterian Church, where they had been long good servants of that church. Jim held several positions there, including clerk, and so was kindred spirit in that regard. And so as much as they sort of regretted leaving Millville, they did, and came to Bridgeton, where we happily received them in our church. And, you know, Jim, being the guy that he is, didn't sit back on his laurels. He could have. He was, I believe, clerk in Millville for 12 or 15 years. That's like a long time to do a really big job in a church.
Oh gosh, my faith is, I would say, is extremely instrumental. Extremely instrumental. I've been actively involved in the Presbyterian Church for a long time and served on committees, by the way, all the way from the local congregation to presbytery to the national body. I was a commissioner to a National General Assembly, and that was a fascinating office that I held. I had to be elected to that.
If I had to choose one word to describe Jim, I think I would choose the word authentic. Jim is who he is. He's that way whether he was in the state legislature, you know, leading the Senate or the Assembly, and whether he's leading a church, and whether he's with his family, he's the same person. And that's a very, very good man.
When I think about Jim Hurley, two words come to mind. One of them is integrity, and the other one is heart. Jim is a man of the highest integrity you'll ever find, and he has the biggest heart.
Oh, the word I picked to describe my dad is faithful. He's always put God first, and I think that's just carried him through his life.
Well, he has a terrific manner with people, and he's very gracious. I think that's a good word to describe Jim. And that graciousness, it goes a long way. I mean, you treat people fairly and kindly and decently, you hope that they'll reciprocate. And I think that's another secret to Jim's being taken into the community so well.
I would love to say to my father that I'm extremely proud of him, extremely proud of the human that he is, the man that he is, the father, husband, grandfather, and now great-grandfather that he is, that he has always been honest, upstanding, and has always taken care of us the very best he can.
Jim Hurley's family, friends, and colleagues show no hesitation when listing superlatives to describe him. No one word is sufficient. He deserves them all.
Vineland, New Jersey is a place rich in innovation and deeply rooted in hometown traditions. The city's agricultural legacy, where brands like Welch's and Progresso originated, lives on today alongside companies producing the critical pharmaceutical packaging we depend on. While Vineland continues to grow, it retains a quality of life enriched by cultural diversity and an abundance of nature's playgrounds to enjoy.
I'm Mayor Anthony Finucci. We have something for everyone at VinelandCity.org.
Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Attention people with Medicare and anyone turning 65. If you have original Medicare, you may be able to get a plan with additional benefits. Medicare Advantage plans may include eyeglasses, wellness visits, gym memberships, meal delivery, and hearing aids. To see if you qualify for a plan with additional benefits, call Best Medcare. Our licensed insurance agents can review your current benefits and tell you what additional benefits may be available to you. Just one call and you may be eligible for a plan with a $0 monthly premium. Tell us the deductibles you prefer, the doctors you want to see, and if you want prescription drug coverage. The service is free. You may even find a plan with a $0 monthly premium, $0 copays, and $0 deductibles. Speak to a licensed agent to find out if a Medicare Advantage plan is right for you. Call 800-953-1769. That's 800-953-1769. And let Best Medcare do the work for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. I have one of the most popular people in the Delaware Valley with me tonight. And, you know, I always wanted to have Elvis. Of course, he's passed away. I don't know if Cher's still alive or not. And Oprah. I wanted to have her on. So there's three people with just the one name, right? Well, in South Jersey, you got the best person with one name, and it's Sybil. Sybil, how are you? It's good to see you, man.
Great to see you again. It's fantastic to be here.
Oh, I got to tell you, this is truthful. I was on last Thursday night with Mayor Finucci, and I said, Mayor, do you know Sybil? Oh, my God, I love Sybil. And his food is fabulous.
Yeah,
and that's what everybody says.
His whole family is incredible.
Aren't they, though?
Yeah, he's a really nice
Stacey
guy.
And the kids and everything. Yeah, he really is.
They come in often.
So even tell everybody the first one, the youngest mayor of Millville was in.
Ed Salmon and his family are they're regulars. They're there a couple times a month, but they're fantastic. They're one of my favorite customers. I'm not supposed to have favorites, but they are.
Well, you need.
You know who comes in often too? Miss Helen and Lily Caseman.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They're regulars too.
They had a beautiful restaurant in. Next to the hotel that they owned in Millville, the Millville Motor Inn. It was called the Crystal Room.
Yeah, everyone talks about it.
That food was almost as good as yours.
She just celebrated her birthday. I won't tell you what year.
Okay.
But yeah.
That is the...
Yeah, and they come in usually when George Perez comes in to sing. And he'll be singing on the 26th of this month as well.
That's sold out.
That's one of our best days. We still have some spots left, but that's good. We didn't. I don't know that we even announced it. We usually just tell our regulars, so that they can come in. But we've had him there 4 times. It's been our best 4 nights we've ever had.
Yeah, he's great. George
and his wife Donna.
Yeah, Donna was my financial advisor for,
Is that why you're so wealthy?
Oh, that's it. She's the one that advised me what to do. She worked for Doug Smithson, but she really did all the work. And Doug was sort of out playing golf and flying planes and all that. I like Doug a lot. He's a great guy. But I'm telling you, you've got such a great thing. First of all, we have to tell everybody because what's exciting about Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. So right now we have 195 spots, and 150 of them are taken. We're having a buffet, and that's the first time in 2 years we'll be having a buffet service there. Where our Thanksgiving dinner, the Chef Julian, he's personally hosted and catered my Thanksgivings for the past 25 years.
Oh, wow.
And I have some very wealthy friends who tried to steal them from me, but he stayed true to us.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be sharing his creations with other customers. There's some pretty amazing things. He's going to have Brussels sprouts, just the normal things, the dry brand turkey, the sausage cranberry stuffing, pineapple stuffing, orange cinnamon cranberry sauce, pasta primavera, ham. It's going to be pumpkin pie, homemade pumpkin pie that is actually coming from one of our waitresses' farms.
And
our
there's
family
the
owns the
pumpkin
farm.
right there.
These are pumpkins that are from a farm, and they're gifts to you as well. They're the Stevers, their farm. They're pretty amazing, and Stevers. Yeah, they donated all their pumpkins to us, which was really thoughtful of them.
Well, you do a lot of donations to people in many ways. I mean, you're sort of like Father Teresa. I have a friend.
Thank you.
Mother
That's
Teresa.
very
You're
nice.
sort of like Father Teresa.
Well, I often say when people, I give out the rings to people, and it's to every table that comes in when I give those antique rings out to every table. I mean, that's what everyone talks about. Wherever I'm at, if I'm in the store, any store I'm at, and someone comes up to me and says, "Look, I'm wearing your ring." It's pretty awesome, and I this is what I say to them usually is that I've heard probably 200 or 300 times in my lifetime that I'm the nicest person that someone's ever met, but I'm just a fraction of who my mom was. And she would love.
That's what you had said. That's wonderful. That's why you have
absolutely
such a great
love that I'm giving those out. It makes so many people happy.
That is wonderful. It really is. Well, Lisa Jester, you must know her. She's wonderful.
She's pretty
She has
awesome.
dinner Saturday night scheduled.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Nice.
She just told me
Did you get into my phone?
Well, no. It comes. Well, it
did
probably
she?
comes up on your phone.
Oh, I
too.
love Lisa.
Yeah.
She's pretty amazing.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
There's a lady that's unbelievable. The job she's done at the Airport Museum is.
And I haven't been there yet, and I have to go.
Sybil, you got
I want to go, and I
gotta
have to go. Yeah,
sometime
I've
or
been
another.
promising I'm going to go, and I've got to do it. But she makes me happy when I see her on the list.
Yeah, she's a very, very. Well, I'll tell you what. The times I've been there, you have a lot of really nice people. The last time I was there, Bonnie Jackson and her husband Bob and the daughters and everybody, they were there celebrating Bonnie's retirement. And yet Bonnie's not totally retired because she does come over and help straighten up my home for me every once in a while. But just wonderful people. And I look around, I saw lots, and I see doctors, I see all kinds of people.
Dr. Boss is one of our, he's a dentist.
That's
Dr.
right,
Boss,
yes.
him and Linda come in all the time. They're really kind people and very generous. We're very blessed with the patrons that come in there because they're very thoughtful, and they often bring me gifts as well, which I don't know that I completely deserve, but one of our customers that comes in and just recently was someone that wanted me to say hello to you, and that's Carly, the Carly family.
Oh, they're wonderful people.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Jane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Jane. And her mother, I loved her mother.
They were in yesterday. They stayed overnight at the hotel.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
I guess it was 2 nights ago. Yeah, they're from Cape May.
Yes.
A wonderful family.
I used to go visit her mom, and her mom lived right next door to Jane.
Yeah, when I mentioned I was coming on here, she was excited to tell you to say hello.
Well, that's good. She can watch us, hopefully.
Yeah, she probably is.
Yeah, I
hello.
hope so. Yeah. Hello. There's a woman, that whole family, the Carly family, the foundation, Sybil, that they had.
Yeah, they donated $1 million.
They did, they donated $1 million to the library. And I'll tell you what, I was so thankful to Marie. I said to her, Marie, could you do me a favor? There's a building on High Street, and I was still involved in Millville government, and I was on the Millville Development Corporation. And I said, if you could buy that building for us, that rental income would give us monthly income to help. She said, no problem, Jim, you got it. I mean, just wonderful people.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
It really is. And, I mean.
And South Jersey has these people,
Yeah.
It's true. Like I say, I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised. Never thought that I'd ever leave Philadelphia. But I always felt like Fortescue was my home. I always felt at home there.
Well, you grew up, that was your summer.
That was our summer, yeah. We've had a place there for 40 years now. And
wow.
I've always loved Fortescue, and I now I know why. Older, a little bit more wise. I appreciate the foundation of the people that live here. They care. They're neighbors. They're real neighbors. And in the city, you're just a number now.
Yeah, that's true.
It's changed so much, but here I feel loved. I feel warmth. I feel welcomed.
Everybody loves you. Kevin says, Sybil is a great guy. I live down the street from him, and my name is Kevin. Kevin, nice to hear from you. Mary Messick and Gary Fallows, nice having you with us tonight, as well as Pat Keola Duran. So these are already people that are very thankful. The one thing, Mayor Mike, the mayor of downtown.
Oh, yeah, Mike
Rothman,
yeah,
right?
he's awesome. He
Doesn't
just got.
Doesn't he do?
Yeah, he does the Bonanza.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you.
He's
Yeah.
also the captain of the Bonanza. That's his charter vessel, and they also do. They do lighthouse tours as well.
Oh,
I think
that's
that's
nice.
probably going to be something a little bit more popular coming up.
Yeah.
Which leads me into very thankful for Bob Campbell.
Oh, he's been amazing.
Yeah, Bob Campbell and Mike, they had just got the last piece of legislation that had to be signed for the permit for. Did you hear about this?
I did see it in the paper.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Isn't that wonderful?
It is. So there maybe January, February we'll be going out to bid
That'll be
to get the
super.
sewage.
Yes. Yeah.
Which changes is a game changer
It
for
is.
Fortescue.
Tell everybody what it did for house values.
Oh well, it 2.5 times. Listen, in Fortescue, 4 years ago, when I first started the first restaurant, you could have bought a house in Fortescue for $15,000, $20,000. They sold 3-bedroom homes for $15,000-$20,000, and in the past 2 years, I think all 60 homes that were for sale originally have sold, and they sold their 5th house for over $500,000.
I heard that.
So, and that was before the sewage.
sewage,
You know, that was just the hopes of it coming. Yeah. The first day that paper got signed, were in touch with someone came into the restaurant, has been coming in from time to time, and left me his card when I'm interested in selling. He was waiting for that to go through. So I think you're going to see the values of homes at least double in the next 2 to 3 years for sure.
Boy, I tell you, people love you.
I mean, Fortescue is pretty a unique place. I mean,
It is.
You have public roads, but it's a private island.
It really is, isn't it?
You know,
Yeah.
It is. It's 1.5 miles long.
Yeah.
You know, you have to live there to stay there unless you're staying at my
at your
hotel
place,
or
right,
an
yeah.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
And there's security on the bridge already, but I'm sure that there'll be more security as time goes on, which makes it a very safe island as well.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And I mean, the fact is, being on or near the water is what people look for. That's why the homes, and we're so lucky to have the other Jersey Shore, which is what Fortescue is.
$1 million views.
Yes, exactly.
For less than $1 million prices.
Yeah, because at the shore you're paying $2 million, $3 million.
Oh yeah,
whatever, just to get a place.
More
as
than
well.
that, in Avalon and
Oh gosh, yeah,
5-6
million. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Albert Casper said you're the best, and Kim Delp Jordan said looking good, Sybil. Yes, he does look good.
It's true.
Cindy Stanger Cook said hello. Patty Connor. Now you know Patty, right?
Well, Patty's worked for us for years. She's going through some health problems right now.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I
But
did see her today. I love Patty.
Well, she loves you. She said,
she makes incredible pie.
She lives near you, and she absolutely loves you so much. You're just a super fantastic guy. Love Patty. So, I mean, it's not just me telling me how great he is. I mean, you know, to your credit, because you are a giver, you know, people really, and you have a great personality. I mean, you've never met a stranger, you know.
No, I kind of love everybody.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not always the best thing, but I give everyone multiple chances, and because God has given me multiple chances, so I'm grateful.
Well, how long? I mean, when did you open the Fortescue Grill?
Fortescue Grill, we opened that in 2000. What was it? When did the pandemic hit? Was that 2019 or 2019? So we must have opened in 2018.
Right.
So we opened up. That was the end of the season. I think it was August 31st when we opened the doors, and we figured we'd get comfortable with the place and get ready for the springtime. And I think we hadn't seen a profit or anything the first few months at all, because it was the end of the season. We were just starting out.
Right.
And I think it was in February. We had a line at the door at the beginning of February. It just happened. It was cold. We had, I think, 10 people at the door waiting to come in. And me and my business partner, Julian Grady, at the time, we were so excited because it was the first time we had a profit. And then the following week, the pandemic hit.
Oh, no.
So we had to make a decision whether to go all in and continue to work unpaid for the whole period of the pandemic. But luckily, we had people that were very generous that came in and and left tips for takeout. They were overly kind. Our patrons were incredibly generous and kind, and so we stuck it out. And then when the Charlesworth came available, because we heard it wasn't going to reopen,
right.
I jumped on that because Jim and Shirley have been friends of mine for 20, people. 30 years, and they knew how passionate I was about the island and how much the Charlesworth would mean to me to have. And I'm not quite sure they would have sold it to anyone else, honestly. They have too much invested in it.
That was part of their life.
It was important that they went to somebody that they thought cared about it, and I hope that we've done them proud, because
I'm sure you have.
We put two years into it. And
so that's what it's been now, 2 years.
2 years, yeah. Wow. So we're over that hump.
Do you know Stevie Bacon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's online. He said he brought his 13 club down there.
Yes, they did.
They love your
Hoping
place.
to be a member someday.
Yeah, well, I'm sure.
Well, not soon, because someone has to go. So yeah.
And Albert says he puts extra. I guess you put extra butter in the potatoes. Candlelight dinner down there. Was he talking about down at the other place in 2018? He said.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's our lights went out one night. Someone hit a pole and the lights went out.
Oh, I see.
Lit up 100 candles all over the restaurant. It was probably not the safest thing in the world, but it was a lot of fun.
Barry Smith says Michelle.
Oh yeah, Michelle and Barry are
my
amazing.
mother, Virginia, and I are honored to count Sybil among our favorite people.
Tell them we'll probably see them at the Queen soon.
That's right.
Like the
Boy,
Queen
what
Diner.
a great guy Barry is. Yeah, Virginia is wonderful. Yep. Well, you got all kind of friends, buddy. I'm telling you. Geez, it's already 18 minutes after 6 o'clock.
Wow.
We're really moving along. We're going to be back with Sybil to talk about some great things, including, don't forget, Thanksgiving. He's still got about 45 seats available.
Yeah, we have 45 seats available.
We'll give you the number when we come back, so stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'm Brian Lankin, third-generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off $100 if you mention that you've seen this.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
I chose DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have DeMarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My guest is Sybil, who is the owner of the beautiful Hotel Charlesworth, where you have, honestly, some of the best food you'll ever taste in your life. I just had somebody the other day was telling me, oh, my God, Jim, I love the sea bass, the Chilean sea bass. I said, that's my favorite, too.
Yeah, over white wine, cream sauce with organic spinach.
That is so good.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites, too.
Very good.
Probably my favorite, what I tell people is it's expensive, is the filet mignon with lobster tail, our special that we have. It's an 8-ounce filet, top cut from Marcacci's meat. It has a pan sauce. It takes 8 hours to make.
Wow. Holy cow.
A lobster, 8-ounce lobster that melts in your mouth. I don't know. If I had 2 hours to live, I'd probably order that with an extra lobster tail and a side of Chilean sea bass.
Well, that sounds really good.
Yeah. So that's probably my favorite meal there. But our pork chop is out of this world. It's smothered with apple and bacon. Everyone says it's the best pork chop they've ever eaten. If I don't hear that from 8 out of the 10 people that have it, I'm shocked. It wasn't like my mom made it. When she made it, she just made it. It was like this thin, dried, with lots of gravy to cover that, just so you could chew it, you know.
I'll tell you, the chef or whoever you have preparing all this stuff.
Yeah, Julian Grady. He's my business partner, along with my sister, Amy Munger.
Yeah, they are phenomenal. And the food is really fabulous, folks. It truly is. I mean, Barry Smith was just talking about, you know, the Hotel Charlesworth makes the trip to Fortescue, the big city of Fortescue, worthwhile or something, which is cute. But nice. It is a unique place, and you know, I also want to mention Bob Campbell. When I was a county freeholder at that time, Bob came before us, and I was 100%, and I think all the freeholders were behind. In fact, I know at least all my friends were behind getting the sewer in.
Yeah,
Fortescue.
It's been going on for a long
you know,
time.
The other factor that you brought up that all of us residents of Cumberland County benefit from is the rateable base will go from here to here.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you mentioned, the $500,000 home.
I mean, Fortescue itself is the most revenue and taxes for the whole township.
Oh, sure.
We pay more taxes just for our small island than the whole township put together.
Yeah.
So with the property value going up, that's going to help the township.
Yes, and the county too, because the taxes are split between the school, the township, and the county.
I mean, it just helps everyone, and the fact that they're saving this historical place, which is historical, it's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. My goodness, folks. The view itself from the Hotel Charlesworth, from his dining room, is priceless. It's just, oh my God, especially around sunset, it's just true.
Yeah, and I don't know the answer to this, but the Charlesworth is going to be 100 years old next year.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and I don't know what the oldest restaurant in South Jersey is, but I can't imagine there being a restaurant that's been in business for 100 years.
No, I can't either.
Opened by a woman.
Wow.
You know, she built the Charlesworth.
Who was the woman?
I can't.
Oh, that's okay. I know
she's gonna kill me. In fact, maybe that's a good segue into the ghost.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about that.
Yes. So my sister was taking a photo of the wine, Cedar Rose Winery, and the back of the photo was all white. It was just we have an all white fireplace. So there was nothing behind her. There was no glare or anything behind her. She was taking this photo that you're seeing on TV right now, and she was going to crop that napkin out and put it online, you know, as an advertisement. And then when she cropped it out and she pulled into the wine, she can see the reflection in there of a woman inside of the wine bottle behind her.
Yeah, I see.
And if you look at her, she looks like a period woman, like you know, maybe from the 20s or something, wearing a shawl and her hair up. But we think that might be Urella. Her name was Charlesworth. I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Wow.
That possibly a much more flattering photo of her than the photo we have of her. To be honest with you,
that's a neat
but she was quite an entrepreneur to build a restaurant in 1924 as a woman.
Yeah.
She
sure was.
You know,
Wow.
I did do some
lady.
research on her, and she's direct descendant from a captain, a very famous captain, and she comes from a long lineage of strong people.
Wow,
So,
that's fantastic. But two of my friends are going to be having Thanksgiving with you, Sheila and Pam Roselle.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be down having Thanksgiving dinner. I'm going to be there with my family at 6 o'clock. Sheila and Pam, I don't know what time you guys are coming. So there's 3 servings, right? 2, 4,
yeah,
and 6.
we're having 2 to 4, 4 to 6, and 6 to 8. It's a 2-hour window, which should give people enough time.
Exactly.
If not, I will kick them out.
Yeah, well, it's okay. That's why I
Which
took
we normally
6
don't
to 8
do.
to get out.
Yeah, 6 to 8, you're fine. You can stay for an extra half an hour, and then the dishwasher will probably want to squirt you out.
Yeah,
but
I don't blame them.
And
I promise
it's
we'll be out there.
$55 a person. And if people are interested, they can call the Charlesworth Restaurant or 215-519-0796, which is my phone number. But if you want to call the restaurant, it directly goes to my number if I don't answer there.
Okay,
So we have 45 spots left, and I'm sure that they'll probably go quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, anybody that's been there will be thrilled to come down and have Thanksgiving
and they're
dinner
going to be making out for $55.
Yeah, that's super.
That's a super deal with the dessert too. Yeah.
Yeah, with all the fabulous food.
Yeah, I've never. Thanksgiving is very important to me. It's when my mom got sick, I took over the tradition and had up to 30-some people at my home for Thanksgiving 2 years ago, and it was all sitting at the same table, and it's been a tradition for me. So to share this, which we had to because it's a winter time and our business has got to stay afloat. So we decided to have Thanksgiving dinner there and to share my chef with everyone else so that he can make people happy, and then older people that can't cook and they want somewhere to go.
Yeah, that is nice. It really is. But I'll tell you what, it's just amazing how you pretty much have to have reservations to come to eat.
Yeah, we had 100. Last Saturday, we had 100 people at the restaurant on a Saturday in the wintertime in Fortescue.
That's what I was going to say.
Amazing.
I think you've overcome any reason for people not to come because everybody goes, oh, my God, from the mayor to the former mayor and the different people.
To Senator
Testa.
Yeah,
In fact, I saw a picture online of, I guess, did they have breakfast or they have lunch? The Republican.
Oh yeah, it was a private party that they threw.
Right.
It was,
I got you. Yeah.
Yeah, Stoltz Taylor and Sandy Taylor. They'll be throwing their Christmas party again. They had a party for the Republicans.
Oh, that's nice.
And their daughter actually works for us as well, but she's in college now.
I see.
Well, Sydney.
It's wonderful. Yeah, that's really great.
Yeah, our employees are unbelievable. Jeff, we have. He's been working for us for the past 4 years. He's stayed with us, and Kevin just came back, and Nicole, and her boyfriend, who has actually Teddy Lindros, who sings. He's from the area, and he's singing. He's a singer.
Oh, that's
for
nice.
us. Yeah.
Talent as well, besides just
we got
food.
our crew of people are amazing. I don't know if I said this last time I was on, but the kids that work for us all literally came up to me individually and told me that they would work for the whole winter for free to get us through.
Wow.
I mean, where do you hear, how is that even? It wasn't something they all came up with together or something. They individually said, if things are hard or whatever, we'll work for free.
That's fantastic.
So I tend to have their backs when they make mistakes more than I probably would if I was in a different situation. But how do you not have someone's back that says that to you? I mean,
but I'm sure,
and they're excited to come to work. They're like thrilled, and all the patrons, they all know who they are. They ask to talk to them and stuff.
That's neat.
It's fine dining, but it's a different. It's just more family. There's more engagement to people, which I think is important because, you have everything. You have the sunsets and the food is out of this world. So
yes, it is.
If you give people some happiness and love in there too, they seem to want it, so they'll come back.
Someone said they saw you no, not you, Julian, breaking down fresh pumpkins today for the pies.
Yes, yeah.
Wow. So we know it's going to be a fresh pumpkin
Every one
pie.
of those pumpkins he carved out today, there was, I don't know, there must have been 50 to 100 of them. And
wow.
To make that pumpkin pie, that homemade pumpkin pie. But if it wasn't for Brooks' family donating them to us, well, he probably wants to curse her out right now, but that's okay. Everyone will be happy eating it. His pumpkin pie is out of this world.
Wow.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
One of my favorite pies. Yeah, it's fabulous, and that goes along with Thanksgiving for sure.
And you'll have some of it.
Oh, absolutely. I got to watch my portion, but I will.
Me too.
Yes, no, I totally understand. One of the things, too, folks, that I wanted to mention, and Sybil brought a couple bottles here, that the Cedar Rose Winery Company is affiliated, or I should say Sybil's affiliated with Cedar Rose Wine in Deerfield Township. And it was interesting. They now have Cedar Rose wine at the Queen Restaurant in Vineland as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And Sandy Forsiski was my guest. She filled in for the mayor. She's Economic Development Director for the city of Vineland. And I forget what type bottle of white wine that she and I shared, but it was one of the best I had ever had. And she said the same thing. She bought a bottle to take home for
nice.
she and her
This
husband.
bottle of Silica is for you to take
Thank
to
you
bring
very
to
much.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's true. I can bring it with me at Thanksgiving dinner. And, of course, we've got all kind of great food. And I wonder what you were doing. That's great that you're going to have the buffet. So you're having Brussels sprouts. I love Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts. Let's see, what does he got here? The pineapple, that pineapple stuffing is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And ham, pasta primavera, banana bread pudding with bananas, walnuts, chocolate chips, and strawberries with cream sauce.
Goodness.
That's out of this world. His sausage cranberry stuffing is, and he's got a corn, pepper, onion, and bacon and cream dish. That's
wow.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe you want to rent a room so you can take a nap afterwards. The mashed potatoes and the string beans almudine are
I
incredible.
love that too. It's one of my favorite things as well. And I know we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I know you wanted to talk about Megan Wren.
Oh,
all the
Megan
great
Wren and
things that
Jesse,
she's
yep.
doing in Fortescue. We'll be back to talk about Megan and her facility right after these messages.
I'm Brian Lankin, third generation business owner, Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off 25 and 10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
I chose DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home because they treated me with respect and compassion. I couldn't have gone through all this if I didn't have DeMarco Luisi by my side. They did everything that they could to make me happy, and that was important to me and my kids.
At the DeMarco Luisi Funeral Home, we're here for you and your family in your time of need.
Welcome back to Round South Jersey. Our guest is Sybil, one of the owners of the Hotel Charlesworth, along with his sister and Julian. Okay, the 3. And Amy's a wonderful server, does a great job, and it's nice to have family with
Yeah, and she's, we butt heads once in a while, but it's okay.
Well, your
we
brother
have
and
fun.
sister.
We have fun with it. She runs the hotel part of the
that's
restaurant.
super.
And
That's great.
Of the business, and then she's also a server, and everyone loves her. You know,
I told
equally.
one
They
of my people that works with me, Erica Milborn. She and her family stayed at the hotel and said how much they loved it.
Nice.
She's a sweetie. She's a good lady. So let's talk about a good lady,
Megan Bradley. My God,
what she's doing.
Like I will say this: that if it wasn't for Megan, I would not have the Charlesworth. It was her brilliance that was able to get me through all the paperwork, and Jesse, who's has also supported us from day one, even when we were at the other restaurant. Megan has the Sea Chest in Fortescue. It's has over 50 local artists. Their designs are in there. There's paintings, and she's going to be closing on the 18th for the season. But right now, she's going to have hot cider starting this weekend for the small business. And you know about this? It's
Small Business Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
the
that's
26th,
right. Yes.
and that's when we're going to be having George Perez as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So if you wanted to come out and support her on the 26th, and then come afterwards to see George, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's super.
His voice is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really is. It's unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
So there's. I was just informed today from the mayor that the beach replenishment project is still a go.
Oh, that's great.
For next year. That's another really important thing
Yes,
for
it is.
Fortescue.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing more dredging.
Yeah,
have you been down to the other end of the beach? By
Yeah,
any chance?
not
Did you
recently,
When's the last time you were
Probably
there?
a year ago or
Oh
something.
no, you have to go there.
Okay.
There's a huge beach down there now.
Wow.
Good, 150, 200 feet. of
Oh
beach.
my goodness.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
there was 30, 40 umbrellas, people out there with
Oh, that's
umbrellas and
nice.
stuff. It was incredible to see that
That's
this year.
fantastic.
So I can only imagine what this is going to do for Fortescue next year.
Yeah, it's exciting. It really is.
Yeah,
It's-
and the green team on the 7th of January, they're going to be doing a polar plunge.
Oh wow!
So if you want to follow the green team, there's more information. I will not be doing it.
Who
or
was on
be
the
there.
green team? Do you know? Is that
That's Megan. There's a whole team of people. The green team. They all.
okay?
Yeah, it's Liz and Megan and Maureen, and there's a whole bunch of them, and they're the ones that really
Megan-
help Fortescue. They clean up the trash. They do all. They're incredible.
Yeah.
We just had a benefit for them actually. Floss Barber and our neighbor. She's from Philadelphia. She's a designer, Rittenhouse.
Wow.
And she just bought a house next to Charlesworth and redid it. And we went to a thing in Philadelphia for Alan Dom. He'll probably be the next mayor of Philadelphia. Just 2 weeks ago, but they did a benefit for the green team to raise money, and they had
that's
opera
nice.
singers and
Wow.
in Fortescue there was
that's
was
amazing.
100 people there with opera singers, and it was
that's
beautiful.
fabulous.
Really, really wonderful event. I'm not sure that Fortescue thought they'd ever see opera singers, but it was awesome.
Well, I'm sure Fortescue never thought they would see Sybil with the best food in South
No,
Jersey,
they probably
Delaware
didn't
Valley.
think that either. That's true.
I remember Megan swam the Delaware Bay.
Oh yeah.
She's
In fact, I
amazing. She
tell
does
everyone that she swam across the
triathlons.
ocean to save a turtle. That's my.
I wouldn't be
told,
surprised. That's the reason
Sue
she
and
did it.
Bill Conway that last night, and they couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, she's a really wonderful lady. There's a lot of people like her, but she's so amazing.
Yeah,
she cares
she's,
about the
and if she's
environment.
watching this, please work on that grant that we're looking for. Megan, you're a genius. Please help me.
Oh, Tom Verba, my friend, just said that he and his wife Jane love the sea chest.
Yeah, it's beautiful. She did an amazing job with that. When you go to the Sea Chest, you're going to find out that it's not just some little hole in the wall spot. It could compare to any place I've been in Maine or in Cape May. It's beautiful. She did a really great job there. We do have some other things that are coming to Fortescue, some new businesses that are coming.
Oh, that's great.
So our old restaurant, which was the Fortescue Bayside, apparently they're going to be, they have a potential renter for that coming in the spring, which is great because there'll be breakfast and lunch there for people, which I really would love to have. There's a holistic shop that's going to be coming in, a massage healing center, a Reiki crystals and things of that nature, which is pretty exciting.
That sure is.
And that's my sister just bought another property next to her, which she's going to turn into something. I don't know if it's going to be an antique shop or
nice.
something like that.
That is fabulous.
Kind of exciting.
It really is. I mean, that's just like our own little Cape May in Fortescue.
That close, but it still baffles my mind when I go I'm constantly meeting people outside of Fortescue in this area, Millville, Vineland area, and they still never heard of Fortescue.
No kidding.
Never heard of it.
Wow.
Like, the tellers at the bank tellers, they just never heard of it. It's so close.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah,
that they don't know about it. And then when they come, because I've had people from Lowe's and Wawa and come and visit, because they hear I have the restaurant, they come and visit, and they're like, I can't believe this is here.
Yeah.
They lived there their whole life and had no idea that there
Wow.
was a beach right there.
That's that is sad, but now thanks to you, more and more people are going to know that
Thanks to a
Fortescue's
lot
there.
of people.
And Megan and your sister and everybody that's
Julian
involved.
Julian. Getting the word out. And
I love
Campbell
Fortescue. It's a beautiful.
And they're catching fish too.
Are they really?
Oh, they're catching
that's super.
stripers left and right.
Oh, that's great.
Cliff Higbee's worms that's what they're biting on.
Okay.
They are.
Place to get your
I just
bait.
went to Betty's yesterday. She closed for the season. Betty
did she?
Higbee.
Yes,
has been
yeah. So I've
a
been to
staple of
Betty's.
Fortescue.
Yes.
She is
Had
an
lunch there.
amazing woman who has been working for, I think, 60 years or over 60 years at that restaurant, and she does a wonderful job. I really admire the Higbees and Betty.
Yeah. The whole family, and the water rescue, the Higbees, that like Fortescue for, if they need somebody, they call Fortescue, the Higbees with whatever dive team, I guess.
Oh, well, the dive team. Yeah, Cliff was amazing with the dive team. Now we have a new chief for the fire department, is George Robinson. He's pretty incredible. He's doing a great job. Everyone seems to be very happy with him. But Cliff is probably the best diver there is in South Jersey.
Yes.
Honest to God,
No,
he is. I
totally
hear.
agree with you. Yeah.
I'm not just. He's not the one to say it, but everyone else is. So.
Yeah, that's true. He does a fantastic job, and just a wonderful family. But it comes back to what you say when you look at that community. Everybody is so nice and helpful, and you fit in very well, because even when you were in Fishtown, I was told you were doing all kind of great things. Somebody just told me
a
that.
few things there. I had an anti-bullying movement, a drug awareness website. I had a program. Yeah, I did a few things there to try to help. But I'm here now.
Yeah, we're glad you're here now.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, it's super to have you here, that's for sure. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, honestly, it's the best food. I have to tell you, Winfield's was right up there. All fabulous food. And unfortunately, I don't think Rick and Lois are going to reopen Winfield's. They're talking about opening some type of a pub type thing next to it, not where Winfield's is. They have the building next door. But the food at the Hotel Charlesworth is, I never had better food anywhere. I don't care where I've been. I've never had better food than you get at the Hotel Charlesworth. And we're talking about Cape May. I think I'd put any Cape. I've been to Peter Shields Inn, and it's
a big portion of our business. I'd say
comes from
a huge portion of our business is from Cape May.
And that's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'd say 80 to 90% of our business is from Cape May, Avalon, Ocean City, Sea Isle, Lower Deerfield, Upper Deerfield, Vineland, Millville. That's all of our business.
I've seen people from Cherry Hill. In fact,
we have people that have been here from New York. We have a lot of New Yorkers in the summertime. Huge New York following.
One time I was there, maybe it was the summer. The fellow was from outside of Philadelphia. He and his wife, and we were talking. That's what's nice too. You get to meet a lot of people from all over the place.
And that's the thing, is that when you're there, you're not just sitting there talking to the person you're with. And
that's true.
It's a very unusual situation, because usually when you're fine dining or you're out, you stick to yourself. You don't really talk to the people next to you.
Exactly.
But for some reason, people feel comfortable there, and they talk to the people around them.
Well, it might be the owner. He makes you feel comfortable, Well,
maybe it's the food.
I think it's a combination of both, because this guy is amazing when he's in there. He keeps everybody happy and laughing and hugging everybody, and it's just really genuinely
I do.
warm,
It's
friendly
an interesting thing, the hugs. When I was in the club scene in Philadelphia for 17 years, I hugged everybody because I was hosting the parties, and every single person that came in. And I was in a horrible home invasion 16 years ago, and it took me years to be able to even have anyone touch me, let alone hug me. So the fact that I hug people again is in itself is a very therapeutic, beautiful thing, because I never thought it happened. So
Well, and you have
super grateful for that.
A lot of wonderful people that come down to your place that I'm sure appreciate the hugs. You know, it's because it's genuine. You really care about people, and all the donations and all the things you do for society, for people everywhere. It's quite a tribute to you, Sybil. That you have that gift that your mom gave you, I guess.
Yeah,
whatever,
well,
right?
my dad.
Yeah, I didn't know
A
Dad.
little harder, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a Green Beret Vietnam. I went to military academy, so.
Oh, God bless him.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was, and that's why I have an appreciation for our flag.
Yeah.
And America in general.
Yeah.
I
Wow,
have
that's
a different
great. It's
appreciation for it because it got drilled into me as a kid, and and I learned to respect and I learned to be grateful for what I have.
Yeah, and you have one of the most beautiful restaurants. I mean, the view. I don't care where you go. The view is second to none, and it is just fabulous food and lots of people there that you'll probably know. I mean, it's just trying to think of the doctor. Mary Jo's his wife's name, and he was a doctor in Millville. He and Mary Jo and another couple were in there one night. I was in as well. Like, if you remember Mary Jo's husband, well, his doctor, and I drew a blank on his last name, but they were there and just, enjoying their food. They had another couple. They had moved. They're like maybe outside of Cherry Hill or something as well. But every time I go in, I see people I know. One time it was funny. I went in, and that whole back wall, like, there were people from Morristown that day, and I think there was like 12 people, and I knew every single one of them.
Oh, having a party. Well, everyone
so
knows
nice.
who you are. So.
Yeah, most people do.
Well, I haven't met anyone that didn't. So.
Well, I guess 40 years of doing this program gets people watching once in a while. And I want to congratulate the Millville High School football team for winning the semifinals this next Saturday, not this Saturday, next Saturday, December 3rd, I think it is. They're going to play at 6 o'clock. We'll be there to broadcast the game. We're not allowed to televise it. We're going to be there to broadcast it on WMVB 96.1 FM. It'll also be here, the audio only, on Channel 22. And, of course, we also have it on our Facebook page. So there are the three places you can hear it. And I got a really nice compliment from Larry Andrews. He said, Jim, what we did was we watched the video online, turned the audio down on the laptop, and turned on WMVB and listened to the play-by-play. Of course, we're the Millville guys. We've been following Millville football for over 50 years. And so we hope you'll join us on December 3rd for the state championship. First time ever they've had one state champ. Last year they had, I think, 2 state champs, Central and South Jersey, which was what Millville was. And then you had North Jersey, 1 or 2. One of those had that as well. So that'll be a good thing to be able to do. So we hope you'll join us. But don't forget, Thanksgiving. There's 45 seats left at going to be a fabulous buffet. I assure you. I would just want to try all the stuffings and a little bit of turkey. I know. That's what I'm saying. It's exciting. And it's $55, but that's from soup to nuts, so to speak. It's got all the desserts are phenomenal too. And what was the pate, the appetizer with the tuna?
Oh, the tuna tartare. Holly tuna over cucumber, avocado stout, homemade wontons with a spicy sauce. We also have a Christmas bazaar that's coming up.
Oh, do you?
We do. We have, I think, 20 vendors for that already, and that's December 3rd from 10 to 1.
Oh,
that's my sister's in charge of that. Then it's wreaths and twisted water flowers, jewelry and a spirit table, handmade crafts and goods, hot chocolate bombs, wood carvings, photography, Christmas ornaments and decorations.
Wow,
so
that's
probably
super.
Irma, maybe Irma and John will be part of that. And then we do have someone on the island that carves, too. One of our neighbors. She's from Maine. She does really nice work. Her stuff is in Megan's shop.
Wow.
Yeah, Sharon Bachman is one of our best customers, and Karen Breslow, if it wasn't for her helping, we'd be in trouble also. Rob Lohr, I have to talk about him.
You were saying what
Rob Lohr, if it was not for Rob Lohr, I don't know how we would survive. Rob Lohr has helped us unbelievable. He's a local. His family had a septic, the Lohr septic, and him and Sydney, they're good people, incredible people. I can't say enough about them. They come whenever we need them, and that's why we're so grateful for them, and we're grateful for everyone that comes and helps support us, because without them, we wouldn't be there. It's a big restaurant.
Yes, it is.
We're staffed 20 people. We have a staff of 20 people. We're open right now 13 hours a week. Friday from 5 to 8. Saturday 3 to 8, and Sunday 2 to 7. So 13 hours a week to sustain a building like that. We need help. So we appreciate our customers, and they know we appreciate them. Have you been to a Taste of Italy in Vineland? Yeah, it's a pizza place, and they have it's a Taste of Italy, it's called.
I guess not.
It's delicious there. It's just there. One of our customers, it's in Vineland. Bob, I don't know.
Okay.
I just Googled it.
Okay.
And I went there, and it was really good. I was really happy with their food there also.
Wondering if it's up near the Queen restaurant, because somebody told me how good
it's in Vineland.
Yeah.
The new Queen. Yeah. I haven't been there
Lincoln
yet.
Avenue. Yeah. Well, that's a great place, because they have 2 for $25 meal. You and I could go.
Oh, that sounds
good. Honestly,
wow.
you get salad or
I still
soup.
don't know how they do that. I swear we don't.
I mean,
being in this business, I don't know how they do it.
$12.50 for the meal. It's like, okay. And that's super salad entree with a vegetable and dessert. That's like, okay.
They just had 40% off. For
for their second anniversary. Yeah. In fact, it was funny. Elmaz and I are good friends.
I'm already working for free, so you
don't need to do more. He said to me the other day, Jim, feel my hand, feel how cold it is. And I said, yeah. And then I went back and I said, it's so cold because you gave away all your money on that 40% off deal.
That is true.
But good people, too. They do a good job. They really do. And, of course, as we talked about, they now have the Cedar Rose wine that you've had for quite a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, we've been selling that for about, I think, maybe a year and a half. And everyone's very happy with their wine.
Yeah.
Cedar Rose.
Yeah,
and the owners are super nice. Have you met them?
I have had them on TV.
So they're so nice.
Yes, they are. Very, very nice people. Yeah.
We have Pete and Jane Galetta coming also. They throw their Christmas party. You know who they are?
I do. Absolutely.
Incredible people.
Yeah.
You know, she does so much for the community and also taking care of the birds and everything else. And Peter's awesome as well.
Oh,
he's
absolutely.
on the board at the Aspira.
Yes, he is. Yeah, and he donated a beautiful glass sculpture or something there. Boy, I tell you what, these people, thank you, Sherry. You're wonderful. The Taste of Italy, she told me where it is. I know where it is.
Oh, good.
It's on Main Road near 55. I actually have been in there, but it's been years ago. I'll have to go in now that you tell me how great it is. And that's close, too. It's not far.
Yeah,
it's right up Wheaton Avenue, Main Road. My good friend John McCormick is watching. John, I hope your back's getting better, and wish you and Jane a very happy Thanksgiving, and your family as well. But you get a lot of people commenting, so thank you for bringing these people on this show.
Well, I didn't bring them on. You did.
Nah, they're telling.
They're here for you.
I think they're for you. But it's great to have you here. And again, Pete and Jane Galetta, very good donators, helping the community give back. And Megan Wren's a sweetheart, and Jesse, they just give and help. And it's really neat when you think about the uniqueness of Fortescue. Really
where do you see that?
Yeah, I mean,
do you see people that actually still care?
Yeah.
Don't want anything for it.
Yeah,
they want to help,
want to give back.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. I mean, even like we're having a New Year's Eve party and dinner. Which I didn't mention that.
No.
So we had one last year. It was incredibly successful. And Jody Everett, she's going to be the DJ, and like